So I told my husband, I said, you are now going to be the baker. And I'm going to be doing all of these things over here that I need to do,
Right.
packaging and all of that stuff. So he made his first two batches of cookies.
Oh,
And,
wow.
and I actually got sick the morning that they were supposed to be delivered, and he had to deliver them. And so he was like, you know what? So eventually, is what we're working towards is him being able to quit his job and this be like a partnership for him and I. Like,
Right.
we're going to just do nothing but bake. And he was like,
Yeah.
I'll be he's great with people. I am
Uh-huh.
too, because I've been in a people field forever.
Right.
But I would rather be in the back in the kitchen baking. And
Hmm.
he's a very like conversationalist. He loves to talk, loves
Welcome
to
to the
talk.
Unstuck
Uh-huh.
Career Podcast with your host, Ken Williams. Each week, we move along your path to possibility so you can finally have the life you want. Let's learn how to deal with people you never wanted to be friends with together so you can become unstuck and unstoppable in your career and life.
And welcome back to another episode of the Unstuck Career Podcast. I am here today with Beth, who I found on TikTok. This has been a theme
Yeah.
lately. I'm finding people on TikTok, but it's so much fun because one of the comments that I hear so much is, there are no opportunities.
Hmm.
And Beth, I hope, is going to share with us that, yeah, there are some opportunities. So welcome, Beth.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is fun. And we found each other on TikTok, and which who knew? Who knew,
Right?
by the
Who
way?
knew?
So tell us a little bit about where you got started. Before I hit record, you told me that for 20 years you believed this story that the toxic 9 to 5 was just something that you had to deal with. So talk a
Yes.
little bit more about that. Uh, what was your life before you pivoted? And I'm not going to tease yet what the pivot was, but we'll get into that. But where were you? What were you doing? And how'd you get there?
I was in education for 20 years. I started out in elementary education for about 6 years, and then I transitioned to secondary education, special education. And then for 16 years of that, I was also a cheer coach.
Okay.
Um, Loved my job, loved the kids, loved all of the things, but absolutely hated everything about the administration, the pressures that they put on you, the standards that they had for us, but not themselves. After about my last career was in the hometown that I'm in now.
Mhm.
8 years of that and 8 years of straight misery.
Wow.
Hated going to work every day, not because of the students, not because of any of that, just because I felt like I was stuck somewhere that I didn't want to be, but I felt like I didn't have a way out. I was a single mom at the time, had to provide for my kids. Um, Thought that that's what I was supposed to do, um, as a human being, is work a 9 to 5, have a career, do all the things, be what my parents wanted me to be what everybody in society wanted me to be. But I wasn't happy. I was full of anxiety, full of stress. I was depressed, came home every day after school, just exhausted mentally, physically. Um, and like I said, it wasn't the students, it
Yeah.
was the administration, it was the bosses, it was the people telling me what to do that didn't know what I needed to do, but trying to tell me what to do.
Right.
And it just got exhausting. And I had a special education director that wasn't the greatest. I had a target on my back from the beginning
Mm.
because of other circumstances and who I was related to. And she made it very clear in several meetings, calling me out by name when she never called anybody else out by name. She would be like, "Isn't that right, Beth?" And I'm like,
Wow.
okay. So it was just, it was constant. It was just, as soon as I woke up in the mornings, if I got a text message from her or an email from her, I'm automatically like, okay, what have I done wrong now?
Hmm.
What am I doing wrong? And I wasn't doing anything wrong.
Right.
We're all human. We all make mistakes, and special education is a hard field to go in.
Oh, yeah.
It's stressful. It takes a lot. mentally out of you. But I loved it. And she made me hate my job. She made
Mm.
me absolutely hate my job. But I just felt like there was no way out of it, that I just had to keep going and keep going and keep going. And then I met my husband about 4 years ago, and still continued that. Actually gave up my family for my
Wow.
career. Him and I split up for about a year because he had a 1 year old show up that we didn't know about. He didn't know about. And I had a I have a 13-year-old, I have a 31-year-old, a 25-year-old, and a 13-year-old. And at the time, I was done having kids. I didn't want to do it. I was a cheer coach. I had two competitive teams. I had a football cheer team, a wrestling cheer team. I had all of these teams practicing till 6 and 7 o'clock at night. He worked a really good job, but it was swing shift.
Mm.
And I chose my career and my life because I thought that was going to make me happy over him and our son.
Right.
I say our son because we have full custody of him.
Okay.
Biological mom is nowhere in the picture. So, but I gave that up because I thought that this is what I was supposed to do. I'm not supposed to be a mom anymore. I'm
Right.
40. I'm 46 years old. I'm almost 49 now, but I'm 46, 47 years old, and this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. This is supposed to be my time, my career, my this, my that, my that.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 6 months in, after we split up, I was like, this is not what I want.
Right.
So the wheels in my head are like turning, turning, turning. And what do I want to do? And the school year progressed this past year, and it just got worse and worse and worse with my director. And we had a horrible, I can't say horrible principal at the school, but he was just a principal with no backbone. And you can't be like that in a high school.
Right.
He wanted to make everybody happy and please everybody, and it just didn't work. And I had begged and begged and begged for adequate classrooms for my students, which we didn't have. We had 4 walls and a bathroom and a makeshift kitchen that was supposed to have a washer and dryer that went missing for 4 years, and
Oh, wow.
still never got it. So I begged and begged and begged for 8 years for an adequate classroom for my students. And it just, every day when I would see an administrator, I'd be like, hey, when are we getting this? When are we getting that? And it was just like we were just shoved to the side, and I was just trying to do what's best for our kids. And I would come home and I would be up at 2 o'clock in the morning, worried about everything at school. And like I said, it took a toll on my mental health. It took a toll on my physical health.
Yeah.
It took a toll on everything. So in April, I called we were not together. We were split up, but we still loved each other. You know, we were still together. We just did not live in the same house. I called him and I said, I think I'm going to quit my job.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, okay, so what do you want to do? I said, well, first of all, I want my family back.
Yeah.
You know, I want you and the kids. I want my family back. And then I said, I think I want to open a bakery. And so I try not to get emotional, but it's super emotional for me. Because I did give up so much for my career. And now that I look back on it, I'm like, how stupid was that?
But that's
stupid.
the rule that we feel like we have to follow that rule.
Yeah.
And career is more important than family. Career is more important than our own personal happiness, our own health, physical, mental health. And it's a story that doesn't serve anybody. It doesn't serve the people who are important. It may serve the principal who doesn't have backbone. It may serve the administrators, may serve the boss or the companies, but it doesn't serve the people that are really important to us.
No.
So was there something that some reason that a bakery was on your mind, or was it something that you just found you enjoyed?
So I've been baking cakes for years, just for my kids' birthdays. My grandson, I've baked for his birthdays. He's 4 now. I've done all of his cakes. And it was just something my mom, when we were growing up, my mom baked everybody's cakes. My mom was the old school, sheet cake with the little daubs of, with the strawberry shortcake molds and the, Big Bird molds. And I just remember being in the kitchen with my mom all the time as she's baking these cakes. And she was also a teacher. So she just did that, as a side job. So my love for baking came from my mom, just watching her. And then like I said, I can't cook. I can cook to, my kids survive, but to actually cook a meal, I'm not the greatest at. It turns out fine. But for some reason, baking and, throwing together ingredients has just always been something that it's a mental stress release. I can sit in my mini bakery at my house and throw together things, and it comes out and I'm like, hey, look at this. This is delicious. It turned out great. And if it doesn't, it's like, yeah, well, we'll try something else. So my love for baking came from my mom. Okay. So like I said, I've watched her do it. And so I decided, I was like, I think this is what I want to do full time. I had made a couple of cookies, just crazy cookies like Oreo banana pudding and a brown butter maple bacon chocolate chip cookie.
Okay, we need to be better friends.
Right. And I just found these recipes. Oh, and a Fruity Pebbles cheesecake stuffed cookie. And I just found these recipes. So I made a few of them, and I made my husband try them. And he was like, oh my gosh, we've got to do something with this. We've got to do something with this. So anyway, I was just like, all right. So my brain is going. I turned in my resignation at school, and
how did that feel, by the way, turning in your resignation?
My gosh, I typed up that email. As soon as I hit send, it was like every bit of stress in my life was completely gone. I slept so good that night. Yeah. And from then on, I have slept. I thought I had insomnia. It wasn't insomnia. It was stress. It was anxiety. It was depression from all of the things that I've been living for the past 20 years, and especially the past 8 years. And it was the biggest relief off of me. I don't even know how to explain it. It was just the biggest release. And I felt absolutely amazing. I woke up the next morning and I went to school, and I was like, you know what? I'm here for the rest of the year. I don't care. And I would walk around and I would be like, what are they going to do? Fire me? What are they going to do?
Exactly.
Fire me? I've already resigned.
That's
I'm going to tell you how I feel. Well, and being a cheer coach too was a stressful thing because I put in so much work in my cheer team, and I took the job as a sport. I looked at cheer as a sport because we had more concussions in one season than the football team did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we were hardcore. And then I look at all these football coaches who put in half of the time that I do and make 3 times as much as I did as a cheer coach. And we were not respected at all. Everything was about the football team, the baseball team, this, that. And I would be like, hey, look what we did. And, we'd get a little snippet of nothing on the Facebook page or, but every day was posted about every other sport. So I felt very devalued as a cheer coach.
Sure.
And that was a lot of things that, I would be up at 2:00 in the morning working on routines and this and that. And I'm like, is there a football coach that's awake right now working on football plays? No, there's not.
Of course not.
What am I doing? Yeah. And so anyway, I decided that it's just time. It's just time for me. And so, yeah.
I love that. I'm going to say, I'm going to reemphasize what you said. I had the same experience. When you get to that point where you decide I'm done, I'm out, you type up the resignation, you hand it in, however you do that, it is a relief. It feels so great. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think, and you can tell me if your experience was different, but for me, before I made the decision, I imagined all of the anxiety, all of the stress, all of the worry, all of the concern about, well, what's next? I didn't feel any of that.
No.
I just knew I'll take care of it. I got this. I'll figure it out. But today it feels great. It feels so amazing. Yes, so I love that for you. And it's consistent with my experience. And because I talk to a lot of people who are in that same boat that, well, I can't because, and they're feeling so much heaviness and so much pain. You can let go of it. In fact, that might be my TikTok today. That get rid of all the pain that you have. Yeah. So did you go right away? How much time was it? Was it April that you turned in your resignation? I heard April.
April 25th.
Okay.
April 25th, I turned
Funny
in my
how those
resignation.
dates just
Yes.
stick.
Yeah. It was my daughter's birthday, my oldest daughter's birthday. So I was like, hey, you know what? Perfect time. Because I had talked
Happy
to my
birthday.
principal. Yeah. I had talked to my principal a little bit, and I was just like, I don't think this is where my heart is anymore. I don't have that passion that I used to anymore. I come here every day and I'm miserable. I hate being here. I'm, not the person that I used to be. This is not me. This is not who I am.
Right.
And I have to fix that. And so I had talked to him a little bit, and they were like, well, we kind of need to know before it gets too late in the school year. So I was just like, okay, I'm just April 25th, the 24th that night, I typed it all up. I read over it, and it was a lengthy email. Mm-hmm. And so, and then I sent the email, and my assistant superintendent had called me, and he was like, hey, would you come in for an exit interview? And I said, please and thank you. Absolutely, I will.
Yes.
So I went in. Yes, I went in with a six pages of notes of everything, wow. And for an hour-long exit interview, I just told him everything about how I felt, and he said, "Well, you're not the first person that's said these things." And I said, "Well, do something about it.
Right?
Don't let good people like me, good teachers, go because of the stuff you guys are not fixing."
Right.
So anyway, I mean, it won't matter here or there. Whatever they do is whatever they do. It's none of my business anymore. But they knew how I felt. And I said, I'm just going to tell you everything, because what are you going to do? Fire me?
Exactly.
I've already resigned. I'm already done. May 23rd. I am out of here. Like, good riddance. Bye-bye. See you later. I've not enjoyed my time. I have, but I haven't enjoyed my time here. So, I mean, I would not give up that experience of those students and the relationships that I made with my cheerleaders and all those experiences that I had. But I don't think I would choose that career again, ever. Yeah. I think I should have done this from the beginning. So, yeah. Yeah.
Well, good. And so did you start baking immediately, or did you wait until you were actually out of the job and start?
Nope. I had 12 sick days, and I was told that I wouldn't be paid for those sick days.
Oh, well.
So
sounds like a clear choice to me.
Sounds like I'm taking all of those sick days. So I did. I stayed for another week, and then I took all of my sick days. And then I came in a couple of days because I had 2 pairs in my classroom, and 1 pair was going to be gone one day. So I went in that day just, so that it wouldn't be chaos in my classroom. So I just took those days, and I stayed home, and I baked cookies, and I tried, different recipes. And my husband's gained about 15 pounds, 20 pounds. Cause I'm like, here, taste this, here, taste this, here, try this.
Right.
Try. So yeah, I started baking immediately. Even before I had finished my teaching career, I had come up with a name. I did a Facebook page. I did, all of the things. So yeah. So yeah.
So what's the name of your business?
It's Charlie's Sugar Shop.
Okay.
Yeah. And I have, my logo is 2 pistons. So the story behind that is, both of my parents passed away 3 years ago. My father passed away in February 3 years ago, and my mom then passed away in June 3 years in that same year. My dad was unexpected. My mom, she had a stroke like 14 years ago, and she died of a heartbreak is what she had. Her and my dad were together for 50 years, and she just couldn't listen. She told the day he died, she said, I'm not going to be too far behind him. And we all were like, me and my sisters, we were like, yeah, we know. So I played around with a bunch of names, and I did not like any of the names. And, I'm the type of person, I'm a night owl, and I'm awake at 1:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was sitting there, and my husband was at work, and I texted him, and I said, I have the perfect name. And so I decided to name it after my dad.
I love it.
So yeah. And once I open an actual bakery, it's going to be all garage themed, because my dad was a mechanic. Yeah. My dad was a mechanic. His dad was a mechanic. He had a a garage in our little tiny hometown about 10 miles from where I live now. He was the mechanic that everybody went to. And my dad was a fireman. He was a fire chief for 28 years on the volunteer fire department. Like, my dad was the man, like, so I just had to do it for him. And
Absolutely.
so that's why I was like, my mom and dad are proud.
Yeah.
They're looking down and they're proud of me. So,
Absolutely.
and that's every day I just look at the name and I'm like, Dad, thank you for the name.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for teaching me the skills, and giving me that gift of baking and creating. I can't draw for absolutely nothing, but you give me some fondant and some buttercream frosting and I can work wonders with that stuff.
Wow.
So instead of, not just the cookies, I also do custom cakes and stuff. So yeah,
Cool.
I mean, you give me some fondant and I've made Homer Simpson. I've made all kinds of things.
That's so great.
Yeah.
So if you're not watching the video, Beth's got a t-shirt on that says Charlie's Sugar Shop. And I saw the pistons and I thought, okay, so she's got a bakery, but she's wearing a mechanic shirt.
Yes.
And I didn't pay attention to the fact that it's frosting.
It's got frosting and then there's a rolling pin.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
My daughter is very creative when it comes to this stuff. So I sent her the name. I said, I want to incorporate the garage, but I also want to incorporate the bakery stuff. And so I was like, you do whatever you need to do with this logo. So she sends me back this logo and I said, it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting that, and I want to set this up the way that it is in my head. There are a lot of times that we struggle with, I want to get the right name, I want to get the right logo, I want to get, and then when we find the right, and I'll put right in air quotes, but we find the right name, it's not like I found it, it's like I recognize it.
Yes.
Yeah, this was the right one. I was just close to it as I was trying different names, and I finally landed on the right one. So I found, I've told the story about the name of the podcast before, but that's kind of my experience as well. I was renaming the podcast and I thought, it's not this and it's got to be this. And I finally landed on, I think I took a couple of different ideas from different brainstorms. I had a list and my brother had a list. He was not nearly as helpful as I would have. His were mostly obnoxious puns.
Right.
But I put a couple of things together and got Unstuck Career, and I thought that's it. That's what it's supposed to be. Yeah, it perfectly outlines in 2 words what I'm trying to accomplish.
Yes.
And so I love that. So, what is your favorite thing to bake?
Right now it's cookies.
Okay.
It's cookies. Right
and
now.
What's your favorite cookie?
My favorite cookie. And my dad was a big CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival fan.
Okay.
Huge. My dad loved music. That's my whole life is every time I hear a song, I remember where I was at when I heard that song.
Yeah.
So I call it the Midnight Special. And it's all the things that my dad liked. It's a chocolate chunk cookie is the base. And then it has toffee, caramel, pretzels, and wavy potato chips.
Wow.
Yes.
Sounds amazing.
It is the perfect combination of salty and sweet, the perfect combination. So yeah. That's my favorite.
Do you ship them? That's my next question.
I do. I can.
I may need to work something out because
yes.
So my oldest daughter, she loves baking and I do cakes. I do chocolate cakes. So maybe we'll do an exchange or something.
Absolutely.
but my daughter found a recipe for brown butter chocolate chip cookies, and I'm a huge fan. And I love toffee. I love caramel. And I love that little bit of salt in the sweet. It's so, yeah.
So my chocolate chip cookie is a brown butter chocolate chip cookie, and I sprinkle sea salt on the top of it.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah. And my maple bacon is a brown butter with maple with bacon infused, like real pieces of bacon in it. And then I sprinkle it with some sea salt also. So yeah,
I love it. We need to be friends. This is what
absolutely.
I'm learning.
Absolutely. I'm all for it.
So how long have you been doing, what year was it that you left? How long ago has it been that you left?
Oh, just this April.
This
Yeah.
April. So this is
Yes.
new.
Yes. This is
So
all brand new.
the
Yeah.
life that you're living right now compared to where you were a year ago.
Oh my gosh. It is. So this is the perfect time because we're coming up on, it's the end of July.
Mhm.
School's getting ready to start. The teachers go back to school a week before the students. So all of that in service, all of those meetings, all of that stuff is coming around. And I found
Uh-huh.
myself actually just last night a little emotional about it because that's all I've known for 20 years.
Yeah.
Since I was basically a kid, that's all I've known is starting back to school every year. So I kind of got emotional about it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to see all these people going back to school and I'm going to be like, what am I going to do? Like, am I doing the right thing? Did I make the right decision? And in the end, I'm like, I absolutely made the right decision because I woke up this morning and I was like, I woke up refreshed, woke up, 8:30. I'm like, all right, get my gloves on. I am making some cookies. So, and I love, and my husband was in here with our son, and I was like, I walked in my little bakery that I have, my makeshift bakery at home, and I said,
Uh-huh.
have I told you that I love my job? He said, you have. And I never said that when I had to wake up for school. I would wake up
Right.
miserable, wake up exhausted, couldn't go to
Yeah.
sleep, wake up dreading the day, dreading reading emails, dreading answering phone calls, dreading this, dreading that,
Yeah.
dreading everything. And now I wake up every single morning wanting to work, wanting to do my job, wanting to do this, wanting to do, I'm going to try this cookie. I'm going to try this recipe. I'm going to try this. I made blueberry scones the other day for the first time, and oh, they were delicious, but man, they
Nice.
are messy. So yeah.
So here's a question it's a risky question because I don't know what I'm going to get, but I'm curious if I were to talk to your husband and ask him what he's noticed in you, what's the difference with Beth now that she's not doing the back to school, she doesn't have this tension with the administrators. What would he say? What's his biggest observed change in you?
Happiness. That's what he just says. You are so happy.
Yeah.
So happy every day, not just here and there.
Right.
Happy every single day that you wake up. I mean, you know what? Life is life and things happen. But I feel like he would say that I look at life totally different now.
Yeah.
Totally different. I have my priorities right. My family.
Yeah.
I have a passion that I haven't had in a long time. Right. And this passion, has been going on for years. So I know it's not going to go anywhere.
Sure.
But it's just been put on the back burner because of my career that I thought I needed.
Right.
But yeah, like zero stress. He will tell you that he knows. And he was like, babe, you are not stressed at all. You wake up every morning and you're just like, all right, what am I baking today? What are we doing today?
Let's just
and
do
I've gotten him in here with me. There's a small coffee shop in my little hometown that a guy that I graduated with opened up about 3 weeks ago. And when I had my 30-year reunion and I saw him there and I was like, hey, so I have the perfect cookies you could sell in your coffee shop. So we're collaborating and I'm baking cookies for his coffee shop. And, we were actually out on a date night and he called me and he was like, I need cookies for tomorrow. And I was like, we're actually in Tulsa right now. Like, okay. So I told my husband, I said, you are now going to be the baker. And I'm going to be doing all of these things over here that I need to do, packaging and all of that stuff. So he made his first 2 batches of cookies.
Oh, wow.
And I actually got sick the morning that they were supposed to be delivered and he had to deliver them. And so he was like, you know what? So eventually is what we're working towards is him being able to quit his job and this be like a partnership for him and I. Like we're going to just do nothing but bake. And he was like, he's great with people. I am too, because I've been in a people field forever.
Right.
but I would rather be in the back in the kitchen baking.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a very like conversationalist. He loves to talk, loves to talk.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, when we go to like farmers markets and events and stuff, he's like the face up there. And I'm just in the background like, hey, I baked the cookies. Here you go. Here's your bag.
I
I'll take your
love
money. But he's the one like, hey, how are you? You know, so he's going to be the face of the bakery. And then I'll be back there, you know, the mastermind behind all of the good stuff.
Right.
So yeah, that's our end goal. But yeah.
I like that. And
Yeah.
and a supportive partner is so important.
Yes, very, very, very.
So if you had an opportunity to talk to younger Beth and give her any advice, what would you tell her?
Don't listen to society. Don't let people tell you that the only way that you're valued is if you have a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you have a job that people think you should have.
Right.
So I come from a long line of teachers. So both my sisters are in education. My oldest sister is in special education. My middle sister was in special education, and now she's a school counselor. So my mom was a teacher. My aunts and uncles were teachers and coaches, and, you know, all of this. So I felt like, and then I had a kid. I had my first daughter when I was 17. So I kind of chose teaching. Mm-hmm. And then when my son was born 6 years later, he has severe hemophilia. We had nobody in our family that, you know, ever had it. We had no idea what was going on. So then I was like, okay, well, education, I can be at the school with him.
Right.
I won't have to worry about him. I will have the same hours as my kids. So I just kind of felt like that was the only choice that I had. So what I would tell my younger self is there are other choices. There are other ways to do things that don't involve you being miserable. Teaching, yes, I absolutely loved it. But from the beginning, it was never really a passion. It became a passion eventually, but it was something that I felt like that was my only choice.
Yeah.
So I would tell younger Beth, like, live your dreams. Even though you're a mom at 17, you have all these things going against you. You can still do what you want and be happy. Right. You can be happy. You can be happy in the job that you've wanted to do your entire life. So, and like I said, I've wanted to open a bakery since I was young. I've wanted to do nothing but bake. And I was just like, I can't do that. I can't open a bakery. That's crazy. I don't have the money. Nobody wants to buy anything that I make, you know? Right. And then when I finally threw myself out there, I was like, oh, hey, people do want this stuff. I mean, I'm like, I am so busy right now. I'm like, who would have ever thought, you know, in May, when I first opened my Facebook page until now, the end of July, I bake every single day from the time I get up until the time I go to bed, you know, and I love it. And it's not a job to me. So I would definitely tell younger Beth, just don't believe the stereotypes. Don't believe the push to, you have to do this or you have to do that. Make your own path, make your own way, figure it out. Yeah. Everything is figure outable.
Exactly.
That's what I say.
That's so true. And I think about that message, the message that you need to have a respectable career. You need to have a degree. You need to have, who's benefiting from that message. And it's not us. It's the superintendent who's benefiting, or the company owner, or it's other people. It's not us. Yes. And so one of the things, I was talking to somebody recently, actually I was just commenting on a TikTok live earlier today. And I said, somebody was talking about their hesitation in stepping into what they wanted. And my comment was, build your dream, not Jeff Bezos's dream or the boss's dream or the company owner or whatever. And it's the fear that just comes as a part of any kind of a change is so flimsy that for you and me, for both of us, we got to that breaking point that I've got to do something different.
Yes.
And that's not required. People can make a decision before that. But that fear is swallowed up in the relief that you feel as you realize, oh, this is now not my problem.
Not
And
my problem
it just
anymore.
becomes just so so much better. And there are no words to express
No.
the how much better so much better is. But
Yes.
it's incredible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have loved this.
Yeah.
Eddie, we need to chat,
Yes. Absolutely.
compare recipes or something.
Yes.
And this has been fantastic, just
Yeah.
because I think one of the things that I absolutely am pivoting towards with this podcast is I want people to understand that if you, and there are some people who love their 9 to 5, and I love that for them, but for the people who
Absolutely.
aren't, the people
Yeah.
who are miserable, the people who have been living 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
frustrated and disappointed and angry and stressed, and because it's not just you that's impacted,
Mm-hmm.
it was your family
It
at the
was.
point where
Mm-hmm.
you were separated, and you don't have to live that way. It's
Mm-mm.
not required. And I
No.
love that you're another voice. It's not just me saying you
Yes.
can have better.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
And I told this to my daughter one time. We were zip lining. She was a little bit younger, and she was scared. She was like, "Mom, I'm so scared. I'm so scared." I said, "You know what? Scary things aren't always bad things.
right.
Scary things can turn into really good things."
Right.
So, and that's what I just want to tell people. Yeah, it's scary. I was scared to death. Like, what if it doesn't work? What if? But we can't live our lives by what if and, oh my gosh, this is scary, so I'm not going to do it. I'm
Right.
So scary things are good things sometimes. You just have to get over that and just do it. Just do it. And, if you fail, okay,
Yeah.
figure something else out. It's fine. It'll be okay. It'll be fine.
You'll figure it out. And
You
I have so
will.
much to say about that. But
Yes. Yes.
but the simple statement is you're right. So if it doesn't work out, just try something different.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you
We
weren't meant to be a baker.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I don't know. I thought, well, you always have a backup plan. I mean, I can always go get a job anywhere.
Yeah.
I have a bachelor's degree. I will never go back into teaching, but I can go anywhere with a bachelor's degree and get a
Sure.
decent paying job if that's what I choose to do. But for
Right.
right now, I am having an amazing time baking all the things.
I
and
love that.
and I just feel like if I keep this attitude and I just keep throwing myself out there, because I had a hard time at first, and my husband was very, very vital in this part of it. I was like, nobody's going to want anything that I make. I'm nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about me. Nobody. I'm the type of person where I just think nobody knows who I am,
Uh-huh.
and then I go into town and I'm like, oh my gosh, all these people. I don't want to know this many people. So, I mean, but I was just like, nobody wants this. And my husband was like, people are going to buy this.
Yeah.
You just have to make them and just and I gave out so many free samples and, just here, take a cookie, try this cookie. And that's what I had to do. I had to be like, hey, try this, you try this, you try this, you tell me how it is. Because my husband's going to tell me everything that I make is absolutely amazing.
Right.
So I had everybody, strangers I'm like, here, try this cookie for me, or try this, or, and then I just had to do it. And he was very encouraging of, people are going to want your stuff. You just have to have that faith that people are going to want your stuff. And then when I threw myself out there, I was like, okay, all right, this is great. When I have people messaging me or texting me or seeing me at Walmart or wherever, and they're like, oh my gosh, I had one of your cookies. Where has this talent been hiding your whole life? I'm like, right?
Yeah.
I had a girl message me the other day. I've known her my entire life. And she said, Beth, why have you hidden this talent your entire life? I said, because I didn't think I could be successful at it.
Right.
Didn't think I could do it.
Last week's episode, we talked to Parker Kane, and Parker brought up the same exact thing. There's so many things that in our lives that we're just naturally good at. And because they're so easy for us, we assume that there's no value. And that's simply not true.
It's not. It's not at all.
I love that. This has been a blast.
Yeah.
Let's stay connected.
Absolutely.
So if people want to learn more about your bakery and your cooking and your baking, not cooking, it's not the same thing.
No.
Your cookies and things like that. What's the best way for them to connect with you?
I have a TikTok that I just started, and it's Charlie's Sugar Shop. And then I have a Facebook page under the same name, Charlie's Sugar Shop, and you just look for this logo, the pistons with the frosting and the rolling pin. And
I love
but
it.
yeah, just make sure it's me.
Yeah, I'll put those links in the show notes as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. This has been more incredible than I imagined.
Yes. Yeah.
I knew that you were doing gourmet cookies, and I thought,
Yeah.
well, that sounds great, but this has been, and especially since it's so recent, it's so good. The just the brightness, the lightness that I see with you. I have to agree with your husband that you just seem really happy.
Yes, I am. I am so happy, so much happier.
That's great. Well, thanks for joining for the podcast, and to everybody else, thanks for listening. We will talk to you next week.
All right. Thank you.
Get back to the work you love, where you face less stress, gain more happiness, and live into your purpose. Let me help you become unstuck and unstoppable so you can finally have the life you want. Head over to my website to connect with me at kenwilliamscoaching.com.